Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to have you here. Good to have you one more time, one more day, one new Shabbat, our Father in heaven. Giving birth to hope. In this week's Torah portion, Tazria Metzora may not seem like the most inspired section of the Torah. It speaks about childbirth, impurity, skin conditions, separation, things that feel physical, even uncomfortable. But beneath the surface, there is a powerful message. God brings hope into the world through fragile, uncertain beginnings. Birth is where hope enters the world. The Torah opens this section with a simple statement. If a woman conceive and give birth, Leviticus 12:2. At first glance, it feels technical, almost procedural. But the sages saw something much deeper. They connected this moment to the very beginning of creation. Let us make men in our image. Genesis 1:26. In other words, every birth is not just biology. It is creation renewed. Every child carries something extraordinary. Possibility, potential, hope. A newborn belongs more to the future than to the present. And in that moment, something profound happens. The future enters the room. The rabbis thought something striking about humanity. They say a person stands between two realities. If he rise, we are told, you came before all creation. But if we fall, we are told, even a worm came before you. It sounds harsh, but it reveals something powerful. We are not locked into who we have been. We are not defined by our past, our failures, or even our circumstances. We are defined by our capacity to become. Then comes a question that has puzzled many over the years. Why does a woman give birth, bring a sin offering? Why? She's bringing life, so why bringing a sin offering? She has done nothing wrong by bringing life. She brought somebody, a human, into this world. So why an offering? Because in the Torah, a sin offering is not really about sin. It is about turning to a new future. It is about saying what was yesterday doesn't have to define tomorrow. That is what hope looks like. Hope is not denial of the past. Hope is the belief that God can write a new future. Hope is active, not passive. We often think of hope as waiting, like you're in the waiting room. But hope, biblically, is completely different. Hope, again, is active. Hope chooses to believe. God has not finished it yet. The prophet Isaiah reminded us, for just as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, will endure before me. It is a declaration of Adonai. So your descendants and your name will endure. Isaiah 66:22. God, Hashem, is always creating, always renewing, always moving forward. Last week was Yom HaShoah, Holocaust Remembrance Day. Who remembered that? Baruch Hashem. Oskar Schindler was not known as a good man. He wasn't. He was ambitious, flow, chasing success in the middle of a broken world. When the war began, He followed opportunity, no righteousness. That was his story. At least, that's how it started. But one day, he saw something he couldn't ignore anymore. He witnessed his families torn apart, life treated as if they have no value. He watched from a distance as an entire world was erased in one afternoon. And in that moment, something shifted inside him. He could have walked away. He could have said, this is not my problem, but he didn't. Instead, he chose differently. He began using everything he had, his influences, his resources, all the money, all the contacts, all the friendships, everything that he could use to save one person at a time. Another, and another person, and another family. Didn't matter if it was a child, a middle-aged person, an older person. He found an excuse for everything to save anybody. He made a list. Over 1,200 lives. People who wouldn't have been forgotten were remembered. People who would have been lost were saved. At the end of the war, those who rescued gave him a ring with the words from the Talmud. Whoever saves one life, saves the world entire. Also translated as, whoever saves one life, it is as if they have saved an entire world. And he wept when he said something that silenced the room. I could have done more. This pen, I could have saved one person. My car, I could have saved 10 people. And he wept some more. This is who he had become. This is hope in a display. You are not defined by your worst moment. You are not marked forever by who you used to be. One decision that you make in your life can change everything. Be cautious of your decisions, what you make, what you think, what you speak, what you do. Because that one decision can make you move forward and be the best that you can be, or can turn you apart and be the worst that you could ever be. You are not defined again by your worst moment. You are not marked forever by who you used to be. One decision can change everything. One moment of courage can rewrite a life. And when you choose to see, you choose to act, you just don't change your story. You help to save an entire world, one person at a time. I remember Isaac giving a word about helping, being kind, and that was beautiful. It's your attitude to choose to make a difference in this world. That person is nasty. Let me be kind. Regardless. Let him be nasty to me or her be nasty to me. I choose to be kind. I choose to be nice. You walk into a place, grumpy. Hello. And the other person says, hi, how are you? And you're like, fine. Okay. Don't let that destroy your day. You keep it up. Keep going. Show some hope. Here is something that we don't like to hear. Hope only exists when it's uncertainty. When you're not sure about things. Then is when hope kicks in. If everything were warranty, there will not be a need for hope at all. Hope lives in the tension between what we see and what we trust. Yeshua said, salt is good. But if the salt becomes unsalty, with what will you flavor it? Have salt in yourself and keep shalom with one another. Mark 9:50. Salt preserves, but it also transforms. I remember Shamashit Malka. You always used to say, her lips be seasoned with salt. That will be tasty. And I was thinking so much about her. What a kind spirit. Always with hope. Always encouraging others. Always seeing the best in people, in our children. My son said something very, very nice yesterday. He said, my father is gone and my mentor is gone. And he was talking about Rabbi Ben and Shamashit Malka. My son saw Shamashit Malka as his mentor. And that's beautiful. And when he said that, I said, I wish she was here to hear you saying that. It was just an amazing thing to hear. Hope does the same thing. It preserves, like salt. Let's go back to the salt, to the seasoning. Hope does the same thing. It preserves us in the difficult seasons and transforms how we walk through them. Yeshua didn't just talk about hope. He lived it. He touched those who were considered unclean. He restored those who were rejected. He brought people back into community. Where others saw separation, he brought connection. Where others saw the end, he brought new beginnings. That is what Messiah does. He brings the future into the present. Right here, right now, you're alive, I'm alive. Let's enjoy this day and be glad. That's what hope is about. It's like moments, present, that too shall pass. Whatever is going on in your life right now that you are anxious, be anxious for nothing because it will pass. It will be, as soon as you can see, it will be something from the past and you will say, oh my gosh, and I was tortured about that thought, that action, whatever happens, business, life. It will be a thing from the past. There were moments in my life where I didn't feel strong. Who remembers those days? I was extremely vulnerable. When I was carrying my responsibilities as a mother, as a leader, as a professional, as someone people look to, and inside, I was trying to find my footing. I didn't always have clarity. I didn't always have the answers. But I made a decision. I was going to keep showing up. Showing up for my child, who was watching me more than I realized. Showing up for my beautiful community, who was present at every time. My family, always there. My beautiful KHD family, always present. Showing up before God, even when my prayers felt like they were not answered. And I realized something along the way. Hope is not something that just comes to you. You're waiting for hope. Oh, let me wait for hope. Hope, are you there? No, not yet. It hasn't arrived. Hope? No. Hope is not something that just comes to you. Hope is something you choose again and again and again, especially when you're going through the hardest lessons of life. There were always days that I was not leading from a place of strength. I was leading from a place of faith. And maybe that is the deeper truth. That sometimes the very places where we feel we are stretched to the max, those are the places where God is quietly building us up into someone who can carry others. God is working behind the scenes. Maybe you don't feel it immediately, but He is working. He got your back. Because one day you look around and you realize that you are no longer just holding on to hope. You have become a vessel of it. God had been working all along. We are called to carry hope in Leviticus as a mother carries the baby in the womb. That's how we're supposed to carry hope, care for it, seek for her, look for her, nurture her. We are called to carry hope not only for us internally, but bring it into our homes. Bring it into our relationships. Whoever you may have a relationship, not only a relationship of boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, every relationship that you may have, your friends, your family, the guy in the store, every relationship you may have, your children, anybody, into your own challenges. Bring hope. God is still creating. This beautiful Parashat, Tazria Metzora, teaches us that something deeply comforting. The future is not close. Every birth says there is more to come. Every offering says change is possible. Every act of faith says God is not finished. So whatever season you are in, any one of those, hold on to hope. Become a vessel of hope. Walk in faith. Trust in God's timing. Because in Messiah, the story is still unfolding. And hope is what you hold on to. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.